All right, so give a little bit of an introduction to yourself.
Yeah, I'm Richard Brantley. I work at Magenic. I've been a senior consultant for 3 years and change. Before that, I spent 13 years in Purgatory, I mean a marketing company, where I did every IT role imaginable.
Purgatory. I didn't know purgatory existed in companies. I thought it was just hell. So you've enlightened me now. So
The pay was good.
so that justifies the purgatory. Okay,
A little bit.
a little bit. So today you're doing a talk on what?
Getting started with Node.js.
Okay, and is a talk really kind of an introduction, basic? I've never done anything with nodes. I'm going to do the baby steps type of talk.
That's exactly it. You may have had some experience with JavaScript, as most of us have by now. But Node starts, this presentation starts with the assumption that you might have heard about Node, or you may not have heard about Node. You know nothing about it. This is really the baby steps. So we don't go into higher level frameworks or the mean stack or anything like that. It's purely just, this is what Node is, this is how you get it, and these are your first baby steps.
I wish with the mean stack they actually would have somehow done the stack so it'd be configuration to the amen stack. I mean, I know that some people say that, but to actually have it so it's ordered that way, that would have been a great name for a stack, you know.
Well, but you see, the mean is a better name because that's what it feels like when you're trying to debug it.
JavaScript is awesome. So the one thing, I've seen you do this talk before internally at Magenic. What I thought was interesting is, most people look at Node as, I'm serving up web applications. I'm serving up all this content, and it's all done in JavaScript. But like as you showed, it's really just a JavaScript execution engine. I mean, that's at its core. So you can use it for all sorts of things, right?
You can, yeah. I think Node gets conflated with its intended use, which is, as you say, web services and web applications. But really, Node is very primitive. It is an engine that allows you to run JavaScript outside of the context of a web browser. But within that, you could do command line applications, you could do services that don't expose a UI at all. I know there are a few frameworks out there for doing desktop GUI applications, and I would not be surprised if somebody eventually comes out with Node modules for Qt or TK or something like that. It's inevitable. Someone's going to try it.
You actually invoked Qt and TK. Wow, that's
well, I had a period where I did a GUI application in Python using GTK.
That almost sounded like
using
writing a VB app, a GUI VB app to find the IP address of the killer. You almost went that far. Close.
It wasn't quite that bad.
Quite not that bad. One thing that's also interesting about Node is that by design, it's not multiple threaded. It's only single threaded, and it's all event driven. How do you feel writing applications in Node? How different can that be, and why is that advantageous?
Well, like anything else, there's a plus and a minus to it. The plus is that given that your Node application is single-threaded, you avoid a lot of concurrency issues that you would have with shared resources across multiple threads. The flip side of that is, of course, your scalability is more limited than an application that can just continue to spawn threads or spawn child processes or whatever ad infinitum, as long as the host machine has resources available to give. So one of the things that you need to be careful within your Node application is that you're not doing things that are CPU intensive or that are blocking. If you have things like that you need to do, what you want to do is spawn those into a separate process and have that process call back into your Node application when that processing is done. That way your Node application is free to continue responding to other events or requests that are coming in.
Okay.
And there are ways to do that. But if you're doing things that are very CPU intensive, Node isn't really a very good solution to that, except maybe as a front end to access that service, but Node then hands off to something that's running internally and then responds when that process is complete.
Okay.
The idea behind Node really is that it's kind of very Unix-like in the sense that you're going to build very small, very focused web applications or services that do one or two things. They do them very well, they do them fast, and then if you need to build up more complex application logic, you might string multiple node applications together to do that.
Okay. Well, cool. Thanks, Richard.